Now, the private messages revealed in the David, spelled Dv4d case just gave us the clearest look yet at what was really going on between him and Celeste, because these were not just random conversations between him and Celeste. According to LAPD detective Corey Farrell, the messages show that Celeste became pregnant.
It's insane because all the fucking images that they use of her are her older, but this is when David met her. I remember I saw this tweet of it. Like, this is how old she was when they met. How is like that in any sense like attractive, normal to you? Like, your brain's fucked, bro. And we watched that video last time.
When she was only 13 years old, underwent an abortion, and continued.
She went through an abortion? Oh my
discussing that pregnancy with David for months afterward. The court heard conversations about pregnancy scares, contraception, keeping their relationship secret, and the intense regret Celeste later expressed over the abortion. But the messages become even more significant when you look at the prosecution's theory of the case. Prosecutors, of course, allege that Celeste eventually threatened to expose that relationship and the alleged abuse, and that David had millions of dollars, his career, and potentially his freedom to lose if that information became public. Now that remains the prosecution's allegation.
He made a prayer account? Dude, holy LARP, bro. You're a fucking terrible person. This guy's insane. How do I even say it? Like, so let me guess, like, was she pregnant with his kid, got an abortion, and then all of that guilt kind of led up to her, like, wanting to expose it? Or did he kill her while she was pregnant? Either way, that's insane.
Not guilty, and the defense had not yet cross-examined Detective Farrell.
Like, fuck this guy, but just throw him in jail already. We already know he's guilty. Oh, Celeste. Like, didn't a song just get leaked, like, or like on his Apple Music? I don't know if it was real. I Did It, Dv4d. Didn't he just drop a song? Someone's telling me he just, like, a song just got leaked. Yeah.
David is currently going viral after he just released a song titled I Did It. Trust me, I am not kidding. You could go ahead and check for yourself. Just go into David's Apple Music account and it will literally be on the front page. Once again, the song is titled I Did It. And obviously this heavily implies that David is seemingly admitting to taking the life of Celeste Rivas. Now, currently at this time, we have no idea if David and his team was the one to release this or maybe someone.
I think he got hacked, but that's insane.
When court ended
just
for the day,
electric chair, please.
Gave the public its clearest and most disturbing.
He's not going to be normal
look
after
at
this.
what prosecutors say what was happening between David and Celeste behind closed doors. So in this video, we're getting an actual look inside David's private messages and communication with Celeste. We're going through what they said about the pregnancy, the abortion, the secrecy surrounding their relationship, and the messages prosecutors believe may help explain a possible motive for her death. According to LAPD testimony, the conversations between David and Celeste indicated that Celeste became pregnant when she was just 13 years old, identified David as the father, and later discussed an abortion with him. The court also heard descriptions of child sexual abuse material investigators allegedly recovered from David's phone. But more specifically, prosecutors presented a series of text messages.
So if it's just like them having like sex or just like pictures of her, does that count as that? Or is it like him harming her? I know it's like harm regardless, but you know what I mean, like
between David and Celeste, discussing an abortion she said she had in January 2024. At the time, Celeste was only 13 years old, while David was 18 and would turn 19 in March of that year. The explicit messages were recovered from an iPhone seized during a search of David's Los Angeles home, while the text message conversations were obtained from his iCloud account. Investigators described finding a large connection of CSAM material allegedly involving Celeste, and prosecutors believe this evidence may help explain the motive behind the killing. They allege that Celeste had threatened to expose the relationship and the alleged abuse, and that David killed her on April 23, 2025. Before that information could become public, prosecutors further claimed that he later dismembered her body with a chainsaw inside the garage of his home. David, whose legal name is David Anthony Burke, has denied the allegations and pleaded not guilty. Detective Corey Farrell then laid everything out for the court.
That? Like, we see that stuff all the time in movies and all that, but like when you like, if you imagine actually like cutting someone with a chin, this sounds terrible. What am I fucking talking about? But like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, how could you do that normally? Like, you're just not right. Like, oh my gosh, like that would just be disgusting.
Farrell, the prosecution's final witness at the preliminary hearing, read the messages out loud.
W commentary. Thank you, YouKnowNate.
And described more than 3 dozen explicit images that he said documented David's alleged essay of Celeste when she was just 13 and 14 years old. Prosecutors said the images showed the actual acts taking place inside David's home, but they were considered too graphic to display publicly in court, which says a lot. Farrell also
I feel like you just gotta show that shit. Like, show the fucking court, like put it on record how disgusting this guy was. And I feel like that would shake him up more and like maybe let him like say more because he knows that we know more, or like just like keep a camera on his face, see how he reacts. Like this nigga, like no, there should be no hiding whatsoever.
Testified that one screenshot recovered from David's phone showed that his lock screen at one point was a photograph of him and Celeste embracing while both were naked from the waist up. Other photographs shown in court also revealed that Celeste had David tattooed in red ink on one of her fingers.
Yeah.
And that detail is especially disturbing because it was one of the fingers later found amputated from her body. And during Farrell's description of one image that allegedly showed David penetrating Celeste, her mother, Mercedes Martinez, began crying in the courtroom.
Oh my gosh.
Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman,
Why did he have videos of all this and pictures?
one of the prosecutors in the case, walked over to comfort her and told her, "I really think this is stuff you don't need to hear.
Right.
I just think it's too much."
Yeah.
Celeste's mother, Mercedes, then stood up and left the courtroom in tears, with Celeste's father, Jesus Rivas, walking out alongside her. Now, the messages prosecutors presented stretched from November 2023 all the way to April 2025. And throughout those conversations, Celeste repeatedly told David that she was afraid she might be pregnant. The earliest messages shown in court came from late November 2023, right around the same period prosecutors alleged the asexual relationship between them first began. Celeste wrote that she was basically praying for her period to come because she refused to have children. David allegedly responded by asking whether she had missed the date she was expecting it. He then urged her to begin tracking her menstrual cycle through an app, writing, "I just need to make sure you're on top of your shit." Now, at this point, Celeste was only 13 years old, yet the two of them were allegedly discussing missed periods, pregnancy scares, and closely monitoring when her cycle was supposed to begin. And then the situation expanded beyond just David and Celeste. According to Detective Farrell, Celeste underwent an abortion in early January 2024. In the days leading up to the abortion, she allegedly texted David that neither of them were capable of taking care of a child. David allegedly responded by telling her, "You are so much stronger than me, baby."
What?
Before adding, "I love you." He then mentioned advice
You're so much stronger than me, baby. LMAO. She's 5 years younger than you fucking loser, bro.
said he had received from his
It's
mother.
mine, right?
David allegedly
Nigga, who else is this 13-year-old having sex with, bro? You fucking weirdo.
explained that his mother had advised him to question paternity. In other words, to make sure the baby was actually his if he ever found himself in a situation
I was like,
this.
did the mom know?
He then asked Celeste directly, "It is mine, right?" Question mark.
No shit.
Celeste replied, "Of course it's yours, David." Farrell then read messages about a plan the two had created just 1 month after the abortion, and that plan was called Operation Awesome. According to the texts, the plan was for Celeste to leave home and move in with David. When she said she did not know what to bring, he allegedly replied, "We've been over this for weeks," before telling her to pack anything she used that he could not immediately replace: her clothes, makeup, jewelry, and shoes. He said he would bring
Operation
her 2 duffel bags,
Awesome.
and later
Operation Kill Yourself, nigga, bro. What are you talking about? Dude. This poor girl, bro. Like, this is insane. This was just happening behind closed doors and no one had a clue. No one had a fucking clue.
texted that he was coming to pick her up in Lake Elsinore, where she was from. Then on February 13, David allegedly asked whether he should hide somewhere near her house and have his bodyguard bring her out to his car.
Bodyguard.
Celeste responded, "Oh my God, no. That's so embarrassing, dude." So this was not just a vague conversation about living together someday. According to the messages, they had allegedly spent weeks planning exactly how she would leave home, what she would pack, and how David would get her into his car without drawing attention. David allegedly replied, "Baby, this is the most important day of your life next to your wedding day, and you're worried about being embarrassed?" So David was, in other words, just next
to the wedding day. The wedding day. This is like, this poor girl didn't have a damn clue, bro. Just how he's texting is pissing me off. The wedding day. Like,
wedding day, and you're worried about being embarrassed? So David was, in other words, describing Celeste leaving her home as one of the most important days of her life, second only to their future wedding. 2 days later, Celeste was reported missing.
wow,
14 months
that makes
later,
sense.
she was dead. And according to Detective Farrell, their communication went back even.
Do you think he wanted her to move in so he had an easier time killing her too? Or did like an argument raise that, bro? That reveal is gonna be crazy. I'm surprised this isn't a live streamed case, but to be fair, it's like a minor involved, so.
Further than the pregnancy, he testified that David had been messaging Celeste as far back as 2022, when she would have been only 11 years old. The messages prosecutors presented were often sexually explicit
16, 17?
and at times controlling. Now, as far as the messages that Celeste was sending, Celeste's messages could be affectionate, but they also showed moments where she appeared distressed and emotionally overwhelmed.
I'm sure.
And on June 11, 2024, David allegedly wrote that he could not wait for them to move in together without the cops bitching. He told Celeste he would take her out every day, and she replied that she missed him deeply. But only a few hours later, the conversation took an even darker turn. David allegedly told her that he wanted to gather her personal documents so they could leave the country and get married in Italy. So this was no longer just talk about seeing each other in secret. According to the messages, he was allegedly discussing a future where Celeste would leave her life behind, move in with him, leave the country, and eventually get married in Italy. Soon after that, Celeste became afraid that she might be pregnant again. She wrote, "I don't like this," before asking David, what if the first abortion didn't work? David
oh my gosh, so she really did get one. That makes me so sad. Dude, I'm already reading the bottom stuff. This guy's
telling her that she would already have a baby bump.
Yeah, LMAO, you have hella periods since then. What you smoking? Nah, first baby gone. How did they even... I know how they met, like online or some shit. But
That
it's like...
she had experienced multiple periods since then. He then wrote, "Nah, first baby gone." Celeste's messages indicated that she was anxious, that the abortion might have not worked, and David's alleged response was dismissive. Instead of taking her fear seriously, he mocked the possibility, treated her concern as unreasonable, and then reduced the pregnancy to the cold statement, "Nah, first baby gone." The entire response shifted attention away from what Celeste was feeling and treated a deeply serious situation as if her anxiety was ridiculous. Then on June 19, Celeste allegedly told David that she would come see him and sleep over, but she added one clear condition: just do not get me pregnant. David allegedly replied that they had done a good job avoiding another pregnancy and claimed the first and only time it happened was because of a damaged condom in December. Now, around that same time, another message revealed that David's mother knew him and Celeste were having sex.
Lock them all up! Lock them all up, bro. Lock them all up. The mom, too? Oh my gosh, bro. Did she know she was 13?
When Celeste asked whether his mother knew, David allegedly replied that she believed sex was probably the first thing they would do when they saw each other. And that
right, because they're an online relationship, which makes sense, but did she know how young she was? If she did, electrocute them all. Bomb the house with a nuke, please.
Because it suggests their sexual relationship was not...
I'm always holding that mic, bro. Like, you're not tough. Like, look how easy I can sing. I'm so cool. I'm so aura. You kill little girls, bro.
Not completely hidden from the people around him. At least according to David's own message, his mother understood that him and Celeste were having sex, and Celeste was still only 13 years old at the time. But a little more than a week later, another message showed an even more disturbing side of their dynamic. On June 27, Celeste told him that after they last had sex, she had to run to the bathroom because she was in pain. Instead of showing concern, David allegedly argued with her about whether it had actually hurt. He replied, "No," then claimed he remembered every time she had said "ow" during sex, and insisted that she had not said it once the last time. And this exchange shows the kind of control prosecutors say David had over Celeste. Rather than listening to Celeste describe what happened to her own body, he allegedly dismissed her pain and tried to tell her that her own memory of the experience was wrong. Then on July 10, Celeste asked him directly, "Does anyone know we even had sex?" David allegedly replied, "Nope, and I would like to keep it that way before we married." He then added that they should get married the following year and make the baby simple. So even while they were discussing marriage and having
he just wanted to go to Italy?
He was allegedly making it clear that their sexual relationship needed to remain secret.
Right, but his mom knew and didn't
But by
say a
August
word.
30 of that year,
Because she's probably enjoying that romantic homicide fucking money. Dude. Actually insane.
Celeste's messages had taken a much darker turn. She began sending David a series of emotional messages about the abortion, writing, "Realistically, I care about you. I killed my kid for you," Celeste wrote. In another message,
he's going to be like, "Oh, it was our kid."
Presented in court, Celeste described what happened as taking an innocent life of a little baby. So by this point, her messages indicate
she got a better consciousness than this guy, bro. And he just manipulated her.
that the abortion was still weighing heavily on Celeste. She was not simply questioning the decision. She was expressing intense guilt over it. And for someone so young, she was remarkably clear about what she was feeling.
Mature.
She understood that this was something she might carry with her for the rest of her life. And she was able to put that into words. Celeste told David that she would have been there for the child had they continued with the pregnancy, but instead of acknowledging the regret she was expressing, David allegedly told her that keeping the baby would have been selfish. The exchange shows them responding very differently to what happened. Celeste was expressing grief, guilt, and the feeling that she had given something up for him, while David allegedly defended the decision and framed the alternative as selfish. Celeste then wrote, "David, I'm gonna have to lie to people around me, even my kid, for the rest of my life." Celeste told David that she avoided talking about the abortion because it made her extremely upset, adding, "I'd do anything to have it back." And David's alleged response to Celeste was extremely cold. He wrote, "Let's end that here," before adding, "I don't like talking to you when you're upset." When Celeste then asked how he personally felt about the abortion, he said he was saddened by it, but explained that what upset him
Nigga, what the fuck?
even more was the way the child had been conceived.
Outside of marriage. Oh, you guys are having premarital sex. Nigga, you met her when she's 11. Nothing's stopping you, bro. Stop acting like a saint, bro. I can only have a kid when we're married. This guy really going back to the olden days, bro. Did he, like, maybe that was a stop process. Like, back in the medieval times, girls were getting pregnant when they were 13. Nigga, they were dying at 25, bro. Dude.
And conceived outside of marriage and outside of how he had imagined having his first child. Then he ended it by saying,
"Did you imagine having it with a 13-year-old girl? They were going to get married next year when she was 14 in Italy, so I don't think it really mattered."
I don't dwell on it. And that contrast is hard to ignore. Celeste was describing something that continued to weigh on her deeply, something she said she would do anything to reverse, while David allegedly made it clear that he did not want to sit with her emotions and had already decided not to dwell on what happened. By November 2024, the situation between Celeste and David appeared to be repeatedly breaking down. In one exchange, Celeste reminded David that she had been having sex with him for almost an entire year. David allegedly responded by telling her that she was
"It's alright, baby, just wait for the wedding,"
as though this was their first breakup, when according to him, it was already their 8th. So this was not one clean ending. Based on the messages,
y'all even try? Dude, this poor girl.
The situation was already breaking apart. At different points, they were reconnecting, and that same disturbing dynamic was continuing. In an exchange dated back December 20, 2024, David and Celeste gave conflicting accounts of what had happened between them. On December 20, David wrote, "You asked me if I wanted to have sex, and I folded." He then claimed that they stopped. Celeste began crying, and he held her afterward. But Celeste immediately pushed back on that version of events. She replied, "No, I didn't, David," and said they had only made out before she was going to leave. So even there, the two of them were giving completely different accounts of what had just happened. David allegedly framed Celeste as the one who initiated the encounter, while also casting himself
acting like he can't control himself around a 13-year-old girl, bro. Like, "Oh, I couldn't resist. You made me have sex with you." What?
Caring person who held her afterward. But Celeste directly rejected that version, exposing how differently he was trying to present the situation from how she said it actually happened. Then the messages moved even closer to the day prosecutors say Celeste was killed. Farrell testified that they remained in contact and that the alleged sexual abuse was still ongoing approximately 1 month before prosecutors say Celeste was killed. But by March 14, 2025, only 1 month before Celeste was murdered, Celeste appeared to be trying to create distance. She texted David, "We can be friends, but online, I don't want anything to do with you in person anymore if I'm gonna try to move on." That message is significant because Celeste was no longer simply expressing frustration. She was clearly trying to establish a boundary and end the in-person part of their relationship. Detective Farrell also revealed another detail that prosecutors say later became important to the investigation. In a December 2023 message, David allegedly told Celeste that he used the name Travion Davis for all of his packages and everything. That alias would later become significant because prosecutors say purchases connected to the alleged dismemberment of Celeste's body were made under the same name.
Dude.
Another detective testified that David used the alias Travion Davis to order 2 chainsaws from Amazon on May 1st,
What do you need 2 for?
Then 3 days later, investigators say he purchased a 3rd chainsaw from Home Depot and had it delivered through Uber Postmates. That 3rd saw was described as a 10-inch Makita, and unlike the other 2, it was never recovered. And those were the main messages revealed during day 4. Now there were more conversations presented in court, but I wanted to focus on the exchanges that mattered most. The pregnancy, the abortion, the secrecy, the way their relationship was changing, and the repeated moments where David appeared to dismiss, pressure, or manipulate Celeste. These are also the messages prosecutors believe may help explain a possible motive. David has pleaded not guilty, and the defense have not yet cross-examined the detective who testified about all this. But based on what we found out, these messages gave us the clearest look yet at what prosecutors say was happening between David and Celeste behind closed doors. What really stood out to me was Celeste's emotional intelligence and the way she communicated. Even at her age, she was able to clearly express fear, guilt, regret, and exactly how these experiences were affecting her.
And how they would affect her in the future.
She also exposed a much bigger reality, how manipulation, gaslighting, secrecy can shape what happens behind closed doors. This is what stayed with me the most, and that's where I'm going to leave this video. Rest in peace to Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Justice will be served.
Yeah, fuck that guy, bro. Guy's a fucking weirdo, dude. Wow. Yeah, he is insane. Wow. I don't even have any words. Like, that is just... I wonder what else is going to come out, but, like, he's guilty. There's no doubt in my mind. Like, this guy's insane. He's a pedophile. He's a weirdo. Rapist, murderer, killer, evil man, bro. Like, dude, just lock him up. Death, please. Obviously, it's, like... Make it like this, like, I know some people have said, like, oh, he's a black guy, and it would be kind of weird if he got the death penalty or blah, 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 but it's like, shit, someone needs to be made an example out of. I'm sorry it had to be the black guy. Dude, I don't give a fuck if it's a black guy. I don't care if it's a black guy, blah, 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 just go. Go to hell, bro. Jeez.